also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for encouraging Vrinda. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Chinmay Mataji, Chinmay Mataji.
कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. This is Chinmayi Vrajapriya Devi Dasi welcoming each one of you to our mid-morning session. We welcome each one of you and would please go ahead and introduce yourselves so that we can greet each one of you.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams. Glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi. Mataji, it's already 11. If we can skip the introduction and move on directly.
Sure, Mataji. Mataji is here, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll do. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to our mid-morning Bhakti Sangha session. We are very glad to start our Gaura Lila Smaran fortnight. And this is the first day. And we have our esteemed speaker, Her Grace Preeti Vilasni Mataji, who is going to start the session. And before we hand over the call to Mataji, I'll read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. In this age, Kali Yuga, to kill the demons means to stop their demonic activities by the weapon of Kirtana, Hari Sankirtana, which is spread by Lord Chaitanya's associates. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This was said by His Divine Grace at London on March 10th, 1975. Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. And we are all eagerly waiting, Mataji. Thank you so much for starting this session. And I hand over the call to you, Mataji. And Mataji's topic today is Sharanagati in Gaur Lila. So waiting, Mataji, very eagerly. Please take over.
Hare Krishna, everybody. What a beautiful quote of Srila Prabhupada. So appropriate to start this series with. We're so happy that Prabhupada is giving his blessings to all of us to start this 2 week Smaran of Gaura Lila. It's all general topics. And by the way, if anyone wanted to speak in this time slot, please reach out to one of us and we will accommodate your request. This is a forum that encourages people to come forward and speak Katha. So please do let either me or Kirtida Sundari Mataji know and we will accommodate the request. And before I get started, I also wanted to make a disclaimer. This is actually a repetition class. It was done in Charlotte. So I thought because not many people from Bhakti Sangha technically heard this class, I just thought it's okay and I will present this class. It's a topic that is very close to my heart. So I thought I will try to do a little bit about this topic for the Bhakti Sangha audience. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrapatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanyam Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namane Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Before we start, I wanted to play a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. I hope everyone can hear.
I'm very glad to see you, and I'm coming first of all Mexico City.
Can you all hear?
Yes,
So,
Mataji.
then Caracas, then Miami. I see your temple is the best. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very kind. Parama Karuna Pahudvijana, two lords, Nitai Gaura Chandra, Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very kind. They have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of this age. So, they are more kind than Krishna. Krishna, he is also very kind. He comes to deliver, but Krishna demands the first of all surrender. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not demand surrender. He is so kind. So, take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and be happy. Thank you. God, thank you.
So this was a very famous lecture that was delivered in Atlanta, and a lecture when Prabhupada choked up, looking at the deities of Gaura and thinking about the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Krishna demands surrender, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't even demand that. He just gives shelter to everybody. That is our Audharya avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and I like to keep a little bit interaction, maybe three or four of you, if you can raise hands and give us examples of devotees who were given shelter by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even without surrendering. Anybody? Any examples? They didn't formally come and surrender, but still they were given shelter.
Jagai Madai.
Yes, the
That
classic.
Dukhi, the lady Dukhi who was serving. She
Very
was
nice.
Amogha.
Yes, Mataji, very nice two examples.
Amogha.
Amogha, yeah.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Mataji.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Wow. We have such beautiful examples. Actually, most of Chaitanya Lila is a list of devotees who didn't even surrender, but they were given the shelter by Sriman Mahaprabhu. So he's very, very compassionate to all the living entities. But then we will go through one particular story. What happens? Yes, Mahaprabhu gives shelter even without surrendering because he is very compassionate. Yes, even without our formal surrender, Mahaprabhu has given the holy names to everybody. He has given the Yuga Dharma, which is chanting of the holy names, and he has uplifted all of us from this Bhavasagar. That is very, very true. But then we'll go through a couple of stories to understand what happens when you surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also what should be the mood of a devotee once he has surrendered. So these two answers we will find out through these two stories, and then we will summarize and see what we learned today. After the South India Yatra of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu went on you all know that he went away to South India in the pretext of searching for his brother. But he went and he delivered so many people across the entire map of the southern India. After going to South India and coming back to Puri Jagannath, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was introducing all the devotees in Nilachal. So many devotees had come to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had taken up that task, and individually he was introducing everybody. At this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he stayed in the house of Kashi Mishra, and many people started coming to the house of Kashi Mishra to get the darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the very important personalities who came at this time to get introduced to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Bhavananda Rai. Now, Bhavananda Rai had come with his 5 sons. Bhavananda Rai had 5 sons by the name Ramananda Rai, which you all know, Gopinatha Patnaik, Vaninath, Kalanidhi, and Sudhanidhi. So these were the 5 children of Bhavananda Rai. Bhavananda Rai was non-different from Pandu Maharaj, and the 5 sons, of course, were non-different from the 5 Pandavas. So at that time, Bhavananda Rai, he entered, and when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya introduced him, he fell at the feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu, and he said, "Along with my home, riches, servants, and 5 sons, I surrender myself at your lotus feet." So what did Bhavananda Rai do? He went and surrendered. Okay. So of course, Mahaprabhu is compassionate. He's delivering people everywhere without surrender. But then here is a case where a person goes and says, "I surrender unto you along with my entire family, my home, my riches, my servants, and my 5 sons." And the name of the sons are Ramananda, Gopinath, Vaninath, Kalanidhi, and Sudhanidhi. When he surrendered, he also told Mahaprabhu, "Ei Vaninath rahibe tomara charane yabe e agnataha kariba sevane." He said, "This son Vaninath will remain at your lotus feet to always immediately attend to your orders and serve you." So Vaninath stayed back as a servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This offer was made by Bhavananda Rai, who is the father. So when this offer was made, Prabhu kahe, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Ki sankocha tumi naha para janame janame tumi amar swamshe kinkara." So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he immediately accepted Bhavananda Rai's offer, and he said, "I accept without hesitation this offer because you are not an outsider. But who are you? Janame janame tumi amar swamshe kinkar." So you are a kinkara, you are a servant of mine, janame janame. From birth after birth, you have been my own servant along with your family members. So obviously, this was none other than the 5 Pandavas, and the 5 Pandavas, as we know, are eternal associates of the Lord whenever he performs pastimes. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately accepted Bhavananda Rai's offer, and especially he accepted Vaninath, one of the sons, as his constant companion. And of course, another son of his, Ramananda Rai, was also a constant companion. Ramananda Rai was handpicked by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he went and met him. And Ramananda Rai left the government service and he came and he served Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there were 2 Prabhus who were with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who were sons of Bhavananda Rai. It was a very nice time, happy time, but then time passed. And then one day, Ekadina loka asi Prabhu reni vedila gopina tera bada jana changi chadila. One day, suddenly, people came running to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they told him, "Gopinath Patnaik, the son of Bhavananda Rai, has been condemned to death by the Badajana, the elder son of the king. He has been raised to the Changa." Changa is a device. It's actually like a huge platform, and beneath that platform, they are pointed, upraised swords. So when a person has committed a grave offense, He's raised on the changa and then he's released down in such a way that he has to fall on those upraised swords and he gives up his life. That's how he's punished. So what happened? Gopinath Pattanayak, who was one of the sons of Bhavananda Rai, not the two sons who are already serving Mahaprabhu, but also one of the sons who was surrendered to Mahaprabhu. Bhavananda Rai said, all my 5 sons are yours, right? So one of the son was Gopinath Pattanayak, and he was condemned to death by the Badajana. Badajana means the eldest prince, the eldest son of the king, and he was raised to the Changa. So this news was given by some people who came running to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they all said, Gopinath Patnaik and his entire family, they are all your servants. So please save them. Mahaprabhu was very surprised. He said, oh, really? And he inquired, what really happened? Why was he punished like that by the king? The king is such a just person. How is it that Gopinath Patnaik was punished? So the story was told that Gopinath Pattanayak, he served as a treasurer. So he would go and collect taxes and he was supposed to deposit in the king's treasury. But apparently this Gopinath Pattanayak, he did not deposit a sum of 200,000 khanas. So khana is a it's a currency of those days, and the calculation is given by Prabhupada in the purport. He says the kaudi is like an American cent or Japanese yen. In the old medium of exchange, the first unit of currency was a small conch shell called a kaudi. 4 kaudis make one ganda, 20 gandas make one pana, and 16 panas make one khana. So basically, it was a huge sum, several crores, okay, whatever the sum is. I don't know. I'm very bad at math. But he did not deposit 200,000 khanas. That was a lot of money. And so when he did not deposit this much amount, it was brought to the notice of the ministers in the kingdom. And the prince demanded that he deposits this money. So when this demand was made, what did Gopinath Patnaik do? Gopinath Patnaik said, I don't have that money immediately to give you. I want to give you. I have the intention to give you, but I don't have sufficient money to give you immediately. But for that price, you can take some of my horses. He had 10 to 11 horses and he was ready to give those horses for that money. So he said, you can take the horses for now and I will settle at least whatever worth it is, whatever worth the horses are. So he took the horses and he went to the prince. This Badajana, this eldest prince, he was an expert in giving estimate to horses. So the prince looked at the horses and he was somewhat, trying to make an assessment. Now this prince, he had a kind of an idiosyncrasy. That is, he had a habit of turning his neck up. Sometimes in pride, sometimes you're turning our neck up and walking up and down like that. So that prince was doing that. He had that habit and he was walking in and out, up and down. And then he did not give a good price for the horses. So what happened? He said, these horses are not worth so much money, so I can quote only so much price. He gave a very less price for the horses. So that is when Gopinath Patnaik, he actually makes a comment. He says, what do you mean? These horses are so much more worth. They are not like you turning their neck upwards all the time. So he makes a remark that was kind of, in one sense, very derogatory for the prince to hear. Okay, so the prince gets offended immediately when he makes that remark. The prince purposely did not give a good price, and Gopinath Patnaik was very upset. He said, at least my horses, they simply don't keep turning their neck upwards. They are good horses. And the prince takes offense and he went and gave false allegations to the king. He went and told King Prataparudra that this man is not ready to pay any money. And Prataparudra was like, what? He's not ready to pay the money that he has to pay? Just find out a way and do what is needed to get back the money. Now, Mahaprabhu asked a question to those people. What is the fault in the king punishing him? He didn't pay the money, so he's getting punished. Now, where is the king's fault here? Why are you all coming and telling me as a complaint? While Mahaprabhu was inquiring like this, there was another set of people who came running, and they said, Vaninath and his entire family is also arrested. Now, this Vaninath was a personal servant. Remember, Bhavananda Rai gave Vaninath right there to Mahaprabhu. Now, the news went that Vaninath was also arrested. Now, this was like very shocking to everybody. But then Mahaprabhu said, look, I'm a sannyasi. What do you expect me to do? I cannot do anything much. Are you expecting me to go and beg 200,000 khanas? I can, as a sannyasi, yes, I can beg. I can probably spread my cloth and get a little bit of money, a few cowdies. That is all I can do. How can I get like 200,000 money? Do you expect me to do that as a sannyasi? What kind of request is all of this? Ramananda Rayera Goshti Sabha Tomar Dasa Tomar Uchita Nahe Aichana Udhasa. All of them said, see, Mahaprabhu, all the members of Ramananda Rai's family are your eternal servants. And now they are in danger. It is not okay for you to just be indifferent to them in this way. Of course, they are all your eternal servants. They came and they surrendered unto you, and you're being indifferent, Mahaprabhu. What is this? So all the people were asking Mahaprabhu like that. And Mahaprabhu said, see, I can't go and beg. What can I do as a sannyasi? How much can I beg? As I told you, I can only beg for like a few pennies. How can I go and beg? Oh, I want such a huge sum of money, and then I can go and absolve the debt that Gopinath Patnaik has. It's beyond my control. So, if at all you're in a problem, you should all go and pray to Jagannath. He is the Lord of the universe. He is the proprietor of the entire universe. It is only He who can resolve your problem. Ihanyadi Mahaprabhu yete ka kahila Hari Chandan Patra ai Rajera kahila. When Mahaprabhu said this, what can I do? But Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. He is the proprietor of the entire universe. If you have a problem, go pray to Jagannath. Just these words from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is non-different from the super soul of all living entities, who is non-different from Jagannath, when these words came out of the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that time, a person who was in the crowd by the name Harichandana Patra, he went as a messenger to the king. Okay, he went and tells the king, my dear king, actually, unnecessarily, this Gopinath Patanayak has been raised to the Changa. He has intentions of paying the money. In fact, he wanted to sell his horses. But unnecessarily, the punishment given is that he should be killed. This is not fair. Okay? And immediately, the king understood what had happened, and he goes running and he finds out that actually Gopinath Patnaik has been raised to the Changa, and he stops the prince from killing him. He says that I just wanted the money to be realized. Okay, I just wanted the money back, not that the punishment should be that he should be killed. If he has the intention of giving the money, then he should not be punished like this. Just ensure that the money is settled. So Gopinath was released on the order of the king, having given the promise that he will settle the money. Okay. Now, meanwhile, while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was with all the people, the messenger went running and he said that actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by your mercy, this Gopinath Patnaik was released by the king, and he was just given a warning that he should give back the money. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled and he asked from the messenger who came and gave the news. He asked, what was Vaninath doing when he was arrested and taken there? Because remember, not only Gopinath Patnaik, but also Vaninath, one of the other brothers, who was very surrendered to the Lord, even he was taken to the Changa. So Mahaprabhu's inquiry was first about his dear servant, Vaninath. So he asks, what did Vaninath do there when he was arrested? And then they all said, Se kahe Vaninata nirbhaye lai Krishna naam, Hare Krishna kahe avishram. What does a devotee do when he is in such a precarious condition? A devotee takes shelter of the holy names. A surrendered devotee always remembers Krishna and Krishna's holy names, and in whatever condition he may be. He may be on the Changa, he may be in a jail, he may be in the middle of a forest, he may be in the middle of an ocean. He fearlessly, nirbhaya, A devotee is fearless in whatever situation it may be. Yes, he's feeling bad, definitely, but he's always fearless because he has taken shelter of Sri Krishna. And fearlessly, what was he doing? He was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So our Vadinath was continuously chanting the holy names of the Lord on both of his fingers of his hands. And after he finished chanting 1,000 times, he would make a mark on his body. He didn't have bead bags. He didn't have counter beads. But what did he do? In any condition, you can count on your fingers. Great devotees are like this. So he was counting on his fingers, and as and when he would finish about 1,000 names, he would make a mark, a scratch on his own hand to indicate that he has counted so many names. It is always good to have a count when we chant. That is the recommendation given by our acharyas. So that is what Vadinath was doing when he was raised on the Changa. This is also nicely reconfirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a very beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Apanna samsritim ghoram yannama vyavashogrinan tata sadyo vimuchyeta tad bibeti swayam bhayam. Just by chanting the holy names of the Lord, even fear personified will run away. Okay. So this is what even Bhagavatam says. Sadyo vimuchyeta tad bibeti swayam bhayam. So even Bhaya personified is scared and runs away when one chants the holy names. So like this, our Vaninath was fearless and he was chanting the holy names. And Mahaprabhu was so happy when he heard this. Now, Mahaprabhu came to give the holy names of the Lord very freely. How many of us are taking shelter of the holy names sincerely? Right? It is very rare. But here we have a great person who was living by the vow that he had taken to be surrendered to the Lord and the Lord's holy names. And he was chanting the holy names fearlessly. And this gave immense pleasure to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was feeling so happy when he heard this. Now the problem was solved. Of course, Gopinath Patnaik was released, Vaninath was released. Mahaprabhu was very happy about the surrender that Vaninath showed. Then Kashi Mishra, he came to visit Mahaprabhu in his house. So at that time, Kashi Mishra and Mahaprabhu, they were having a heartfelt conversation. By this time, Mahaprabhu was a little agitated. He was thinking, oh, people are just coming and they're asking all these favors and they're telling me somebody misappropriated some money and then I have to go and resolve that issue. Why am I even involved in politics? I don't want to do all this. I'm a sannyasi. I just want to be left alone. So, Kashi Mishra, I just want to go to Alarnath. I don't want to stay here. 4 times messengers came back and forth giving me news. I'm a sannyasi, and today, by chance, Jagannath saved that person. Jagannath, by his causeless mercy, actually, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is not different from Jagannath who actually saved him. But still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, today Jagannath saved him, tomorrow who's going to save him? Like that. But then Kashi Mishra, he explained to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh, my dear Mahaprabhu, please don't get so agitated. Actually, Gopinath Patnaik is a gentleman. He doesn't expect favors from you. The messengers came to you simply because he's a surrendered soul. They wanted to give this information to you because he came and he surrendered to you. The minute he surrendered to you, he's your property. So that is the reason they all came running to you to give the news. So please stay back here. Don't get disturbed by all this. And I will ensure that nobody else will come. And if at all there is a problem with anybody, of course, as you said, Jagannath himself will personally take care of it. So you please don't go away from here. That will be the worst thing that can happen to us. So then Mahaprabhu was somewhat pacified, and Kashi Mishra, he goes back to his quarters. And King Prataparudra, he had the service of massaging Kashi Mishra's feet, because Kashi Mishra was like a Kula Guru for them. So Prataparudra, that day afternoon, he came to massage the feet of Kashi Mishra. And when they were talking, Kashi Mishra told about the conversation he had with Mahaprabhu, and he told Prataparudra, see what happened now. Mahaprabhu wants to leave. He wants to go to Alarnath just because this Gopinath Patnaik was punished, and so much drama happened because of that. And that time Prataparudra, he was very shocked. He was very, very shocked. And Kashi Mishra was telling, in fact, Sriman Mahaprabhu was supporting you. He tells Prataparudra. He kept saying the king is not at fault, but Gopinath is at fault because he's not using the funds properly. So the king was continuously supporting you. He has so much love for you. So at that time, Prataparudra, he said, actually, it was not at all my intention to give any pain to Gopinath Patnaik. It so happened that the prince got offended because of some remarks. And that is the reason he came and he told me that no money, he has no intention of giving any money. And at that time, I told him, just take measures to ensure that the money is deposited. I never told him raise him on the changa and kill him or something like that. There was a lot of miscommunication. And he said, okay, don't worry, I will solve this completely. I will excuse Gopinath Patnaik of all the debts. I will double his salary, and I will also make him give him the post of a collector or a treasurer. Okay. So he says, actually, it's a collector, not really a treasurer. But a collector basically collects funds. Okay, that is the role that he plays. So what did Prataparudra say? Prataparudra said, okay, I'm not even going to ask him to pay back the money. I will double his salary, and I will also reinstate him as the post of collector. I will not take off his job. So like this, Prataparudra, he tells Kashi Mishra, and he goes and he gives this information to Gopinath Patnaik. He calls Gopinath Patnaik and he tells him, hereafter, your debts are resolved. Your salary is doubled and you're going to become in the post of a collector. And he honors him with silken garments. He puts a nice silken wrapper and a turban. And then he tells him, don't repeat such mistakes again. And after that, Gopinath Patnaik was delivered and he was even absolved of the debt. Imagine what mercy Gopinath Patnaik had received. Actually, it was not Mahaprabhu's intention to give a material opulence to Gopinath Patnaik. However, Vishaya Sukhe Diti Prabhura Nahi Manobal Nivedana Prabhaveha Tabu Phale Eta Phal. The Lord had no intention of awarding his devotee the happiness of material opulence, yet simply because of his being informed. That means what? The information was given to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given an information that his devotee is suffering. That's all. See, Mahaprabhu doesn't demand, come and fall at my feet and surrender unto me. No, just an information is given to Mahaprabhu that there's a problem, your devotee is suffering. Yet simply because of his being informed, such a great result was obtained. Now, this is the power of Mahaprabhu. Kashi Mishra informed the Lord of the king's intentions, that king has actually excused him. But Mahaprabhu was unhappy. He was telling, oh, why did the king excuse him? Because Mahaprabhu didn't want to be the cause of this indirect help. But then Kashi Mishra, he convinced Mahaprabhu. He told Mahaprabhu, no. The king did this out of the personal affection the king has for Bhavananda Rai's family. It is not just because, he's connected to you. Don't think that you are the cause of this favor. So like that, Kashi Mishra was trying to clarify to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he's so scared. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, okay, I'm a sannyasi. Now this guy got an indirect help from me. Now my sannyas, vows will be disturbed. These people will again come and trouble me with all kinds of favors. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to go to Alarnath. So getting scared of such reactions, immediately Kashi Mishra said, no, it has nothing to do with you. Actually, the king himself is favoring Bhavananda Rai's family so much. That is the reason why Gopinath Patnaik was actually excused. Bhakta Vatsalya ebe prakata karila purveyena pancha pandave vipattarila. the devotees, Kashi Mishra and everyone said, you have now demonstrated your love for your devotees, just as you previously did for the Pandavas, and you would deliver them from all kinds of danger from time to time. Then Bhavananda Varaya family, all of them, all the five, the sons and Bhavananda Rai, they came running. They came running to Mahaprabhu and they thanked Mahaprabhu for delivering them. And then Gopinath Patanayak, he said, oh my dear Lord, I was lifted on the changa and I was about to be killed. But instead what happened? I was honored with a silken cloth and I was given double the salary. I've been given the post and I've been absolved from all debt. How did all this magically happen? It is all because of your mercy. And then Gopinath Patanayak says this very beautiful statement. He says, on the Changa, what did I do? Of course, we all know what Vaninath did. Vaninath was counting the holy names of the Lord. What did Gopinath Patnaik do to get released like that? Gopinath Patnaik said, on the Changa, I began meditating on your lotus feet, and the power of that remembrance has yielded this results. So beautiful. The devotees are very merciful. All that they did was give an information. Your devotee is suffering. And what did the devotee do? The devotee fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. That is all he did. So he said, I began meditating on your lotus feet, and the power of that remembrance has yielded these results. And what is the result that he got? So far we know he got material opulence. He got post, he got double the salary, and he was absolved from all the debt. But then Gopinath Patanayak, with great realization, he said, Kintu tomar smaranera nahi ye mukhya phala Phalabhasa e yate vishaya chanchala. However, my Lord, this is not the principal results of meditating upon your lotus feet, getting all this material benefit. Material opulence is very flickering. Therefore, it is simply an abhas, a glimpse of the result of your mercy. True mercy is what Ramananda and Vaninath have received, right? What did Ramananda and Vaninath receive? They became the personal servants of the Lord. They got the personal association of the Lord. So now our Gopinath Patanayak, understanding that this material opulence is very flickering, leave this, make me also like them. Now, this is the true prayer. So now Gopinath Patnaik, he offers this heartfelt prayer to Mahaprabhu. Please make me also surrendered like them and let me also serve you. That is when Mahaprabhu, he gives this very beautiful instruction that he has given to many people in the past. Serve from your position. Mahavishaya karya kaba virakta udasa janame tumi panchamora nijadasa. Whether you are involved in material activities or become completely renounced, you five brothers are all my eternal servants, birth after birth. So don't worry, you don't have to give up your service and come and stay with me like Ramananda. Rather, do your service to the government. But then I will never, never, ever give up on my devotees. This is what Mahaprabhu was telling. I will never renounce my devotees. You are all you five brothers, you're all my eternal servants, birth after birth, and I will not forget that. There's a Phalashruti for this entire section. It's a beautiful Phalashruti. We will understand this Phalashruti and we'll get into further aspects of surrender. Chaitanya Charita ye parama gambhira se bhuje ya thara pade yaram yana mana dhira. The intentions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very, very gambhira. They are very deep. No one can understand them. Only if he has complete faith in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, we can understand this. Now, externally, if you see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared very disinterested. He was like, yeah, let him get punished. If he has done a mistake, he has to get punished. Leave me alone. I will go to Alarnath. These are the external behavior of of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu simply because he had taken the role of a sannyasi. But remember, this Mahaprabhu was non-different from Jagannath. He is non-different from the Paramatma in everybody's heart. And he never forgets, never ever forgets his devotees who are sincere and who have surrendered to him or even have a slight intention of serving him or being surrendered unto him. Ye ihan shune prabhura vatsalya prakasha prema bhakti paya tanra vipadaya nasha. Whether or not one understands it, it's very difficult to understand this Gambhira heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whether or not one understands it, if one hears this incident concerning the activities of Gopinath Patnaik and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy upon him, certainly he will be promoted to the platform of ecstatic love of God. And for him, all dangers will be nullified. So anyone who has heard this today, all dangers are nullified. Whatever may happen, we have the holy names, we have our mind, we have our thoughts. Just fix it on the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. Take shelter of the holy names, just like how Gopinath Patnaik and Vaninath did. So we just have to hear this pastime and take inspiration from this pastime. And if we do so, if we take shelter of the lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu, if we think of Mahaprabhu, then surely not only will we be absolved from the problems of this material world, but we will also develop ecstatic love for God. Just like how Gopinath Patnaik's heart was transformed. He was telling, I know what real favor is. You have given that favor to Vaninath and you have given that favor to Ramananda. I also want that favor. We all will also hanker for the utmost favor of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is attaining love of God. So much about surrender, right? So even if you don't surrender, just think about him. Just say that, okay, I'm yours. Mahaprabhu is ready to take care of us. But then the question is, how should one's consciousness be after one surrenders? Okay, so we are, it's always a good habit. Sometimes people say, when I have a problem, should I go and tell Krishna my problem? Krishna is the Paramatma. He knows everything. So is it wrong for me to go and express my problem? Everybody has this question. I also have this question. All of us have this question. Doesn't Krishna know that I'm in a problem? Is it arrogance to go and express Krishna, disturb him, tell him that I have a problem? Answer is yes, you should go tell him. Because at the end of the day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Sri Krishna, they are very merciful. Okay, there's nothing wrong in going and expressing our problem. Of course, they are the Paramatma, they know. But then just Prabhupada gives this analogy of just like how a baby cries, and if there are two babies, one baby is constantly crying for the mother. It's natural for the mother to give attention to the crying baby. Right? It is very natural. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like our mother and our father. Definitely, there is no harm in going and submitting our problem to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prayers, that's why we have prayers. Yes, prayers is also stuti of the Lord. It is glorification of the Lord. But at the same time, we express our fallen condition to the Lord. And that way we can attract the mercy of the Lord. So whatever Gopinath did or whatever Vaninath did was perfect. And we should also follow in the same footsteps of taking shelter of Sri Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu knows our problem. That's why he is Audharya. That's why he has given us this Maha Mantra, and he has come and he is giving freely love of God because he knows our problem. But still, when you specifically submit your problem, he will take extra interest in us and he will help us out. Now, okay, we all want to be surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know his glory and everything. But then what should our consciousness be after we say, I have surrendered unto you, Mahaprabhu, please take care of me? What should we do? For that, we will learn one more story. We will see this message from another story of another devotee. So you all know Mahaprabhu made multiple attempts to go to Vrindavan. During one of his initial attempts to Vrindavan, he went to Kulyagram. From Kulyagram, he went to Kanai Natashala. And then he comes to Ramakeli. Also, of course, there is the story of this Narsimhananda Brahmachari who already predicts that Mahaprabhu will go only up till Kanai Natashala and then he will go back. So anyway, here when Mahaprabhu went to Kuliagram and then to Kanai Natashala, he ends up going to this place called as Ramakeli. Specifically, he goes there with an intention to meet two great devotees. So let's see what happens there. अर्धरात्रे दुई भाई आइला प्रभु स्थाने प्रथमे मिलिला नित्यानंद हरिदास साने. Thus, in the dead of the night, the two brothers, Dabir Kas and Sakara Malik, went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incognito. First, they met Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, and then they went and met the Lord. So these two brothers, of course, you all know, is Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time in this place called as Ramakeli. But did they go directly to Mahaprabhu? No. How did they go? They first went and met Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Taking their permission, they went and met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is how we meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Raghunath Das Goswami learned this the hard way. You all know how during the Panihati festival, he was chastised by Nityananda Prabhu, and then he does the Panihati Chidadahi festival. But here we have Sakara Malik and Dabir Kas, who went to Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, took their permission, and then went and surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dui gucha trinadhune darshane dhariya gale vastra bhandi pade dhandavatahanya. In great humility, both brothers took bunches of straw between their teeth, and each binding a cloth around the neck, fell down like rods before the Lord. So keeping trinadhante, that is keeping the blade of grass between their teeth and a cloth around their neck, they go and they fall down like rods in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, surrendering unto him. And they said, Ama udhari te bali nahi tribhuvane patita pavana tumi sabeto mavine. No one within the three worlds is sufficiently powerful to deliver us. You are the only savior of the fallen, Patita Pavan. Therefore, there is no one but you. So they go and surrender to the shelter of the most fallen, Patita Pavan, who is Sri Mahaprabhu. Ama udhari ayadi dekao nijabala apatita pavana nama tabe se shapala sapala. If you simply deliver us by your transcendental strength, then certainly your name will be known as not a Patita Pavan, okay? A positive Patita Pavan, the savior of the fallen souls. So say, if you deliver us, then your name will be fulfilled as Patita Pavan, because we are so fallen. And if you give shelter to us, then the world will acknowledge you as Patita Pavan. Vaumana aiche chanda dharite chaha kare taiche ye vancha mora uthaye anthare. Indeed, we are like Vamanas. We are like dwarfs trying to capture the moon. You are like the moon, and we are dwarfs. We are so fallen. We are trying to capture you, who's like the moon. We are completely unfit. And we have a desire to receive your mercy. This is coming in our hearts, so we don't know what to do. And we have come and we have fallen at your lotus feet. So beautiful. Shuni Mahaprabhu kahe, Shuna Dhabir Khas, Tumi Dui Bhai Mora Puratana Das. So after hearing this prayer of Dabir Khas and Sakara Malik, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you both brothers, you are my old servants, Puratana Das. You are my old servants. Aji haite duhara nama rupa sanatan dainya chada tomar dainya bhate mora man. My dear Sakara Malik, from this day, your names will be changed to Srila Rupa and Srila Sanatan. Now, please abandon your humility, for my heart is breaking to see you so humble. And then Mahaprabhu gives the analogy of a woman. That do not fear, you continue to do your services, just like how a woman may have a paramour and still she will attentively attend to her husband by executing all the services so that she is not doubted. Similarly, you also continue to attend to all your services, and eventually you will attain me. Eventually, you will come and join me in my pastimes. Etabali duhara shire darila dui hate dui bai prabhu pada nija nija mate. The Lord then placed his two hands on the heads of both of them, and in return, they immediately placed the lotus feet of the Lord on their heads. And Mahaprabhu asked the devotees to shower their mercy on the Birkas and Sakramalik, who were now initiated as Sri Rupa and Sanatana. See, Mahaprabhu, they are falling at the feet of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is placing his lotus feet on the head of these two devotees. This is surrender. Okay, they are falling on the feet of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is placing his lotus feet. Not only that, he's telling all the devotees, all you devotees, shower your mercy on both of them. So beautiful. So now Rupa and Sanatan, they are filled with the mercy and blessings of Vaishnavas and also the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu. So what has happened? Rupa and Sanatan surrendered to Mahaprabhu. They told Mahaprabhu, we are now your servants. Please accept us. And Mahaprabhu said, for now you serve from your place and then eventually you can come and join me. Fast forward, some years passed by, and eventually Sanatan and Rupa, they join Mahaprabhu by serving him in Vrindavan. But then, when Sanatana Goswami came to Puri to meet Sri Mahaprabhu, at that time, what happened? What happened when after he left his government service and he came to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu? He comes to Jagannath Puri, and some of the devotees, they receive, especially Haridas Thakur and others, they receive Sanatan Goswami. And finally, the news is given to Mahaprabhu that Sanatana has come, and Mahaprabhu comes to see Sanatan Goswami. Mahaprabhu goes and he embraces Sanatan Goswami, while Sanatan Goswami is very hesitant. He feels very uncomfortable and he's very, very hesitant as Mahaprabhu is embracing him. Now, seeing the face of Sanatan Goswami, Mahaprabhu said, my dear Sanatan, if I can attain Krishna by committing suicide, then certainly I will give up millions of bodies without a moment's hesitation. Deha tyage Krishna na paye bhajan, Krishna prapyera upaya kona nahi bhakati vine. You should know that one cannot attain Krishna simply by giving up the body. Krishna is attainable by devotional service. There is no other means for attaining him. Awaken your dormant love. Acts like suicide, they are influenced by the mode of ignorance. And in ignorance and passion, one cannot understand who Krishna is. Deha tyagadi tamo dharma prakata karana sadhakana paye thate krishnera charana. Measures like suicides are causes of sin. A devotee never achieves the shelter of Krishna's feet by such actions. So he goes, he embraces Sanatan Goswami and he starts instructing him about suicide. He tells all these acts of suicide, all this is nonsense. It is all because of the mode of passion and ignorance. You can never attain Krishna by suicide. Of course, there are devotees with intense feeling of separation from Krishna. Sometimes they are telling, I want to give up my lives, like the gopis of Vrindavan. But they will never give up their lives because they know that is very painful to Krishna. They will never ever do it, like Rukmini and the gopis of Vrindavan. Sometimes they say, I want to give up my life, but they will never do it. Now, Sanatan Goswami, he thought, oh my God, I never told this to anybody. I just had a thought in my mind that I really want to suicide simply because I contracted a terrible skin disease and pus and blood is oozing out of my skin. And with this body, I cannot serve the Lord properly. So I was contemplating suicide. But then, how did Mahaprabhu know this? And Sanatan Goswami, he realizes that Mahaprabhu is Sarvagnya. And Sanatan Goswami smiles and he asks Mahaprabhu, but dear Mahaprabhu, what is the use of keeping a fallen soul like me in this condition? Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe, Tomar deha mora nijadhan. Tumi more kariyacha atma samarpan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Tomar deha mora nijadhan. Your body is my property. You have already surrendered unto me. In Ramakeli, what did you do? You fell Dandavat. You said, I am like a dwarf. You are the moon. All that you said and you surrendered. But what are you doing now? You're ready to give up your own body. Your body is my property. You no longer have a claim on your body. Tumi mora kari acha atma samarpan. You gave yourself to me and now you want to claim your body for yourself? That is not possible. परेरे द्रव्य तुम्ही केने चाहा विनाशिते धर्म अधर्म विचार किबा ना पार करिते. Why should you want to destroy another person's property? You have no right. Can't you consider what is right and what is wrong? This reminds me, I had this very beautiful encounter with a Vaishnava, with a Sri Vaishnava actually. It was a very, it was a nice, not nice. It was it was a ceremony basically that we had to do. And we went to the temple and he was guiding us through the ceremony that we had to perform. And he started crying, okay? Because he knew the person kind of well who passed away from my side. He knew that person. So he kind of he welled up with tears and he said, oh, I didn't know he passed away. And then he told me his story. He told me when I was very small, my father passed away. When my father passed away, I was raised in a Gurukul. I mean, like I was raised in a very strict environment, learning the Vedas and chanting the mantras and all that. My father was a full-time pujari of the Supreme Lord, and I was also trained into the same system, and I just couldn't take it. So I started complaining to my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother also had just lost her son. Basically, he was telling that he lost his father when he was very young. That means the father was also probably very young, in his 30s or 40s. So this person was telling, when I was so small, I couldn't understand all this. Why am I worshipping God? My father, he dedicated his life to worshipping the Lord. My mother was such a chaste wife. She would bring all the, samagri to worship the Lord. My grandmother lived her life in the temple, just serving the deities. Our family is like that. But why suddenly me? Why my father has to die? Why should I become fatherless? At that time, he said, my grandmother told me something that I will never forget. And again, he started crying. And he said, my grandmother told me, this is actually in Tamil. I will first tell it in Tamil, then I will tell it in English so you understand. Okay, so he said, avan sottu avan eduthukaran, nee enna nadula. That means this property of this body or whatever, the soul belongs to the Supreme Lord, him. He is the owner. He is taking his property. Who are you in between to question him? And he broke down again crying. And then he told me the same thing. He is his property. He has gone to his property. So I was like so dumbfounded. And I remembered this very past time. Not like I remembered every part of it, but then it kind of, I was thinking something similar happened with Sanatan Goswami, right? And I was able to connect at that time. But anyway, it was such an inspiring thought that he fed into my head. So anyway, so Mahaprabhu is telling, why should you want to destroy another's property? Can't you consider what is right and wrong? Tomar sharira mora pradhana sadhana ye sharira sadimu ami bahu prayojan. Your body is my principal instrument for executing many necessary functions, but by your body I shall carry out many, many tasks. So now Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatan Goswami, your body, you're trying to destroy your body, it's my property. And I had decided that I wanted to use your body in executing so many necessary functions. And with your body, you should carry out these tasks. Rather, you're telling you'll destroy my property. And then he looks at Haridas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he looks at Haridas Thakur, who's near him, and he tells, Parera sthapya dravya keha na kahaya vilai nishediha inahare yena na kare anyay. One who is entrusted with another's property does not distribute it or use it for his own purposes. Therefore, tell him not to do such an unlawful thing. So he tells Haridas Thakur in anger. And of course, later he uses Sanatan Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami to excavate the holy places in Vrindavan. And they write so many scriptures. And with the help of Sanatan Goswami, today we have access to so many scriptures. We have access to temples. It's all the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted him to keep his body, not think the body belongs to him. So that is the mood of a person who has taken shelter of the Lord. Yes, we all say, I am surrendered, I am surrendering unto Mahaprabhu. I think of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. I pray to my Gaura deities. Without Gaura, who am I? We tell all this, but what is our mood and consciousness after we have surrendered? We begin to think, everything belongs to me. Actually, everything belongs to Mahaprabhu. So we learn today, Mahaprabhu is very merciful, very merciful. He is the most merciful, most munificent incarnation, right? Uh, and he gives mercy and shelter even to those who do not surrender. Like you see this picture, the Jharkhand forest where animals are all there, and he's giving mercy even to them. Did they go and surrender? No, they are just animals, but he's ready to give them also mercy. But if you surrender, if you consciously say, think of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and you go and surrender unto him, he'll never forget it. Just like how Bhavananda with his sons went and surrendered. Did Mahaprabhu forget it? No. Mahaprabhu did everything that was needed. And he said, oh, I'm not doing anything. Jagannath is doing it. But he did everything. If you surrender, he never forgets it. And he always gives protection. Now that you have surrendered, we never forget whom we actually belong to once we surrender. We should understand that we actually belong only to the Lord now that we have surrendered and maintained that thought or consciousness. Lesson for me too. But I thought this is what I wanted to present today. And if you have any questions, comments, realizations, you're free to contribute. Hare Krishna. Give me 1 minute. I'll just log into a call, but no problem. I can take questions. Just give me 1 second.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. What a beautiful class. It was always in my heart the day you did it in Charlotte over here. I could not listen properly as I was running around and doing something else.
Oh, I have to do this to do that. And
Thank you, Mataji.
So happy. A beautiful class. You were so involved. Because tears in my eyes too. Thank you so much, Mataji. I know you will be in a rush and there will be many hand raises, so I will let all Matajis talk. Oh, Parima Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Again, thank you so much. My humble obeisances to you for such a wonderful class. I mean, I can hear it over and over again. Whatever you speak, I can, it's so absorbing. Mataji, I have this question. I mean, Mataji, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they surrendered and they had such a humble attitude. They had so much of humility, even though they had all the opulence. But a person like me, if I had this kind of opulence, how can a person attain such a level of humility? Because Rupa and Sanatan, they were Parshad Tanus. They were the eternal associates of the Lord. So I'm just kind of, can you please, express your thoughts on this?
Developing humility is actually not difficult. Sorry.
Yes, I understand, but genuine humility, Mataji. It's like, suppose we know we are fallen, this. But whenever there is so much of opulence and power, especially, that's what I'm saying, not like when you don't have opulence and you don't have power, but they had so much of opulence and so much of powerful, they were so powerful. That's why I'm asking, Mataji.
There's only one method, constantly reminding ourselves that who am I? I am nobody. As when compared to the Supreme Lord, at least we can have humility in front of the Supreme Lord, right? When compared to the Supreme Lord who has created me, who is the owner of this entire universe, who am I? Who am I? What capability do I have? I cannot even breathe without his sanction. So it's a constant reminder we have to keep telling, paying obeisances in front of our deities. That helps a lot. Offering when we offer arati or whatever, we have to constantly pray. If we at all get a thought that I am great, I am doing this, it's because of me that this is happening. Chastise your mind, go and pay obeisances in front of the Lord and request him, please help me get over this pride. That's the only thing. Even to get over our own problems like pride and ego, we can only pray to the Lord and expect him to help us. So that's the only way. That also brings about humility. That also gives us the strength to not become proud next time. I don't know, Mataji.
Thank
Just
you
try
so
it.
much. That shows how exalted you are, Mataji, that you
I'm
are
not
thinking.
I have all these problems, and that's what I do. I'm like, it hits me, and I'm like, why am I like this? Then just go pray. Hopefully, next time we don't do it.
Thank you so
Even
much.
for that, we are dependent on the Lord, actually.
Yes, I know, because usually people who are very powerful, they have a lot of ego. They have a lot of ego issues. That's why I was kind of just a thought came up to my mind. So I asked Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Very much.
Parima Mataji. Kirtida Mataji, please, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Excellent session, as always. And you explained that how we have to surrender and what our consciousness should be after surrendering. That's also very important. So, thank you, Mataji. If you allow, Mataji, can I just say one thing for Parima Mataji? So Parima Mataji was asking like how to develop that humility. So Prabhupada would always say that dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So after kama, how moksha comes when we are frustrated of all those kamas. And then we start thinking, okay, I think so, there should be something higher. Same thing happened with Dabir Khas and Sarkar Malik. When they were counting, they were so busy in counting the money of Nawab Hussain Shah that one day their servant served them milk, hot milk in the night. Normally he used to serve. And that day, instead of sugar, he added maida, all purpose flour. He added and then he served them. And they were so much engrossed in counting money that they didn't even notice that what they are drinking. And the servant came and said, apology, asked for apology. And they said, oh, we didn't even notice what we drank. That was an eye-opener incident in their life that they said, what is the use that we don't know what we are drinking, what we are eating, where we are heading to? So, same situation in our life, Krishna, when brings certain circumstances, then that becomes an eye-opening for us that yes, in spite of opulence, in spite of fame, in spite of prestige, in spite of all the number of followers, we realize that this is just ways and we have to surrender unto Krishna. So we have to wait that eye-opening incident to come in our life where Krishna personally guide us.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Kirtida Mataji. I didn't know this pastime of Maida and milk.
Even I didn't know that. Yeah.
Thank
Nice.
you so much for sharing this and giving me this insightful reply. Thank you very much, Mataji. Praying to all of you for all your blessings because I'm very fallen. You too, you are all are seasoned in Krishna consciousness.
You
So please
all are on same boat. Don't worry.
There's only one Patita Pavan. Gauranga.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. I missed that class, but now I'm happy that I got to hear it.
Thank you, Mataji. That's why I thought I took the liberty to repeat. Thinking that not many people would have heard it anyway. So, yeah.
I'm Kaliyuga memory. Even if you repeat, hardly anybody remembers. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Anything? Yeah, Sindhu Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Very, very beautiful class. I actually have two questions. The first question is, Mataji, the Bhagavatam shloka that you put in, right? I didn't get the context where that is, where the Harinam.
Even here personified as feared.
Correct.
Yeah, Vaninath was constantly chanting the holy names so even in that precarious condition, all that he knew was just take shelter of the holy names. The Chaitanya Charitamrita verse also resonates the same fact. So I just put the two together. I can read the Chaitanya Charitamrita verse. It says, Sahe se kahe Vaninatha nirbhaya. He was nirbhaya, Laya Krishna Nam. He was fearless, having taken shelter of the holy names.
Okay. No, what is the context of the Bhagavatam shloka, Mataji? Where does it come? Which?
Oh, you wonder where it comes?
Huh.
The number. I think it should be Canto 1, chapter 2, because that's where all these famous verses fall.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yarnama Vyavasu, Granan, Sada Vimuchya. Okay, let me just copy paste the verse directly. Yeah, 99% it will be from Canto 1, chapter 2. That is where all the famous verses come.
I was thinking more in lines of Canto 6, Sajamila, so I was a little
confused. Yeah, it's 1:14.
1:14, okay.
Not 2.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, towards the end. Oh, you will learn this today, na? Today is Bhakti Vaibhav, not tomorrow. You learn this verse, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mataji. And my second question, Mataji, is that, see, all these Nitya Muktas, they are all liberated. They are all Siddhas, right? Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. So I'm just talking in terms of them, but it applies to all the liberated souls, right? That their body, nothing can happen to them. It is Chinmaya. It is actually beyond this material existence. So if he is getting some disease or something like that, it is just to perform the Lila. Is that my correct understanding?
Correct. Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
because once he touched the lotus feet of the Lord and the Lord put his hand, nothing can happen. And beyond that, these are all liberated souls. So nothing can happen to them. So even just for the Leela, just to show us that, we are all properties of Krishna, this Leela was performed. Correct, Mataji?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Very, very beautiful session. I'm going to listen to this again. Thank you so much, Mataji, for taking time and giving us this wonderful nectar. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sindhu Mataji, for your very inspiring, consistent association. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Same here, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, today is the first day, right? After the time zone change.
Yes.
So I missed I missed again the timing. 9:30 I joined. So I'll be listening to the class. And then I guess you know what? Like I think you're wearing blue to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, huh? I'll go through the class, Mataji. But then I missed it. I'm sorry. I'll again listen to it.
Sure, Mataji. So nice to have you on the call. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. I just disagree, Mataji is also waiting.
Hey Krishna Preeti, wonderful class as always. I just had one question. I don't know, maybe I'm remembering from the times, like where we were doing this pastime from CC. I mean, was there something like, he did not pay the taxes or for some reason or, something like that, where there was some kind of a mistake on his part to, I mean, I don't know, we had that kind of a discussion when we were reading those chapters. Do you recall something like that?
So, it is not directly stated that he did a mistake, but Chaitanya makes a statement that what can I do if he squandered all the money watching girls dancing? But the point is he had the intention to pay. So it is, and Pratap Rudra also mentions this. Sometimes he takes the money, he spends it, and then he later deposits it in the treasury. So it is common for him to do that, and he had this practice from the beginning. It's not like he collected it, he put it in the treasury every day. It was not like that. That was not the way he functioned. So he would take the money, he would use it for his purposes, and then he would slowly put it back in the treasury like that. Pratap Rudra also mentions this point. So, but I know of it, but I don't mind him doing that. That's what Pratap Rudra says. Okay. But Mahaprabhu is frustrated the first time they comes in. What can I do? He just use that money, go and see some girls dancing.
So
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that even, he helps out even in such a situation.
Well, he is very merciful. See, two things. One is definitely Gopinath had the intention to pay the money. It's not that he didn't have an intention. Secondly, he was surrendered. Yes. And even if it may appear that there is an occasional slip or an occasional fall down, like it appears, right? There is an occasional fall down. Yes. It can happen to us also. Occasional fall down can be there. But even then, Mahaprabhu doesn't leave us. That is the other lesson that we get to learn from this.
Yeah, it's just amazing, right? Like when we read this, when Prabhupada says that apichet suduracharo, even if the devotee has many bad qualities, still a devotee is greater than any other virtuous person if they lack Krishna consciousness. So, I mean, I think this is kind of a practical example to that, right?
100%, Mataji, yes.
These things sometimes amaze me, and also in one sense bewilder me. How, because maybe from a very materialistic point of view, we think that virtues do matter, and at least we tend to put virtues in front of everything else. So
yeah, virtues matter. Yes, Mataji, that's true. Virtues matter, but not to the point that they excel devotion to Krishna like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, because unless we are virtuous, maybe we can't even become devotees. But then just saying that only virtues matter, yeah, that would be the problem. Because without devotion, what's the value of a virtue? Correct? Yeah. Like Prabhupada says, and like you're telling me.
Thanks, Preeti, for the beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for adding and then bringing more insights and different dimensions to this. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not adding. You were the one who were giving. I just was thinking, I remembered something from the past, but you clarified it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Balavrinda, Vinita Gandharvika.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I really like your class, Mataji.
Balavrinda. Hey, Balavrinda, you chanted so beautifully today. Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for the beautiful class. Even you are saying it is repetition. Even I did not hear on that day. I don't know it was live. I don't even know about it. But thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for doing it, and Bhakti Sangha. Thank you. Very grateful to you, Mataji. And beautiful start for Gaura Lila.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
The data is sourced.
Thank you, Mataji. So, no more hand raises, and I know you will have to go back to your work. So we'll offer respect to all the symbol Vaishnavas and yourself, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhye
Namo Namah.
Koti Vaishnava.
Thank you,
Mataji. Jai.
Preeti Vilasni Mataji ki
Preeti Vilasni
jai.
Mataji ki jai. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Hare Krishna.